all over the place. Only a fool would do such a thing, and I've been close to it, but not quite at that level. But thank you for inviting. I really was invited year before last. The Lowery Institute in Atlanta sponsored a big birthday party on my 90th birthday, which was year before last. And Stevie Wonder came, and God knows so many people came. We held it at the Symphony Hall. The Atlanta Symphony sang with the Morehouse Spelman CAU choir, and Dr. Panion, whom you may know, came over to Atlanta and conducted the Atlanta Symphony during that whole party, and I was delighted and grateful to him, and the blind boys came and sang. My youngest daughter, who, somebody on my phone, he says, "Who's that? Barack, what's it, Barack? B-A-R-A-C. Karen, my daughter, baby, I'm busy now. Yes, the blind boys sang. And my baby daughter, who really didn't know a lot about the blind boys, who was in charge of the program, only listened to them to sing one number. And I was disappointed. I wanted to hear the blind boys, especially since they were being accompanied by the Atlanta Symphony, directed by Dr. Panion. That was a historic moment in my life, and I was disappointed. So when I received word this year that they are singing with the Alabama Symphony tomorrow, being directed by Dr. Panion again, I came right over to hear them. And I did not know until I was scheduled here for anything, let alone that. But I thank you for the opportunity to be here with you and to enjoy this music, to be in this environment, and at my age, to be around you young folks, talking about the role of black music in the black experience is quite enjoyable for me. I would say that I remember I was teasing about Barack Obama being on the phone a couple of years ago. Well, as a matter of fact, it's been almost 4 years ago now. He did call me on the phone. He called me on his cell. And he missed me. I wasn't there, but he left word and asked me to return his call, which I did. I called him up on his, what's that little phone he had? Yeah, that's it. I called him up, but don't ask me the number. He doesn't have it in it already. The FBI confiscated it. But at any rate, I called him back. And I said, I want to speak to the fellow who's going to be the 44th president of the United States. And he said, that would be me, Brother Lowery. He said, I called you the other day to ask you if you would deliver either the benediction or the invocation at the inauguration. I said, I don't know. Let me check my calendar and I'll get back to you. And then I thought he may take me seriously. And I said, I checked it and the date is available. And so he asked me to come and do the benediction. And back it appeared in the paper a few days later that I was to do the benediction. So my friends called me and said, we're disappointed. We wanted you to do the invocation. I said, no. Let Brother Barak handle his inauguration. When I do the benediction, that means I'll have the last word at the inauguration, which I did. The only thing that occurred after I spoke was the national anthem. And you know, I'll let you in on a secret. It's the only time I ever enjoyed the national anthem was on that particular day. I don't like the song that you have chosen as our national anthem. It talks about bombs bursting in the air, rockets, and all that sort of thing. Well, I think the national anthem ought to talk about peace and oh, beautiful for spacious sky and amber waves of grain, or even talk about lift every voice and sing. That would be better than bombs bursting in air. But on that particular day, I have to confess that even the Star-Spangled Banner sounded melodious to me, because it was a new day. It was a new beginning. And let me tell you something. I'm glad to be alive. And for any reason, but particularly during this year of our Lord, 2000, and what is it, 13? I can't keep up with it since it turned. But I'm awfully glad. It's the best of time and the worst of time. I'm so happy that I lived long enough. When in 1965, when we marched from Selma to Montgomery, we were in Montgomery week before last, celebrate Bloody Sunday. My wife took her 25th or 20th, 30th group of young people down there to march that trail again. I got out of the sick bed, as I did this morning, to come over here, to go to Selma to be there for this particular Sunday, because I think we live in a dangerous, wonderful time. The best and the worst. However, we are in danger when we talk about Bloody Sunday and the Voting Rights Act. You must be aware. All God's children must be aware that we're in danger. We're in terrible trouble when it comes to voting rights. The Voting Rights Act is being assaulted at a level of intensity that I've never experienced before. Never before has this country, almost 40 states, are looking for ways to kill the Voting Rights Act. That act which made it impossible for Barack Obama to be elected president of the United States. It is being assaulted in vicious ways. They're trying, without any apology, to eliminate our right to vote. And unless we become aware of that, as some of us are not, we're going to wake up one morning and find that we're back where we were in 1965 when we marched to Selma in the first place to get the Voting Rights Act passed. So I wanted to go to Selma this time to make sure the nation understood that we are aware that there are forces in this country seeking to turn back the clock in terms of our voting rights. They're trying all kind of devious means of eliminating our freedom at the ballot. And so I just say to you tonight, I do take advantage of this opportunity. And I guess I will send you a bill. Although I don't expect to get any response. But I want you to be aware we're in danger of losing that great privilege which resulted in the election of Barack Obama as 44th president of the United States, and more excitingly, in the re-election. And I think they're mad about the re-election more than they are about the election. And there are some white people here. I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about some friend of yours.
That's okay.
I'm talking about some relatives of yours, I think. But it doesn't matter. There are some black folks just as bad. There are some Negroes. Who's this Negro from down here in Kentucky and up here in Florida and so forth, who are as crazy as any Negro, any human being I've ever seen. And I'm glad I didn't think I'd live long enough to see black folks as ignorant as some of these fools who were lining up with the Republicans. And I'm not against it, but my father was a Republican. Proudly so. But the Republican Party that he belonged to no longer exists. This is not the party of Lincoln. This is the party of Limbaugh and Lott. We have to be aware. But I have no intent to make a speech. I'm glad to see some of the blind boys here. I'm coming to hear you guys tomorrow night. And they're going to sing with the Alabama Symphony. Dr. Pennion, where's Pennion? There he is back there. He directed the Atlanta Symphony with the Atlanta University Center.